It's going, I think. Yep.
Actually, did you put on video?
Yep.
Okay. Hi. My name's Jeremy. I'm Catherine's husband. The one that sometimes you'll hear behind the camera. This here is Cleo. She's one of our family. And she can be a very, very big diva. And the other one is over there, sleeping. And I guess you could say that we're making this video to explain why we're such big advocates for people that wears diapers. Yeah, okay. For me, I've had to wear diapers for pretty much all my life. And even in my family, those who I lived with, one of my aunts would chastise me for choosing to wear diapers. When I was younger, when I was born premature. I ended up getting double pneumonia because of neglect. And at 6 weeks old, I fell into a coma, and the third day that I was in the coma, I died. Medical records say that I died for 3 hours. Then I ended up not being able to talk that well, or barely even talk. Couldn't walk till I was 6, thanks to a shifu, or a martial art master. He taught my brain how to walk better. And he also helped me learn how to talk. Up until 12 years old, I couldn't talk that well. Then I started talking. And asked my family. I never stopped. At a lot of people's disdain. When I was 10 years old, I ended up falling 35 feet from a swing. And it damaged my kidneys. It damaged my bladder. Broke my femur bone. And up until 6 years old, I didn't need them after that. But then when I was 10, stuff started happening again. Well, this was in the 80s. And my aunt was one of those UPC people. I mean, I loved her. She was great. It's just she had her stigmas, or those UPC, what they do. They act so holy, but they're not so holy themselves. And there, have a drink. Excuse me. For about 2-3 years, I'd put diapers on the list for them to buy, and my aunt would just ignore it. I would send away for diapers, and they would throw them in the garbage. The doctor uh, told my grandmother that yes, I did need them, and I was right. It was that or a catheter, and I did my research on catheters, and
Don't worry, Jack.
okay. Sorry, I'm really anal when it comes to doing things right, and sometimes I have to let things go and let my wife do it. And then again, she does have a degree on social media and web marketing, and she's very clerical, so I really do trust her. I love her. As you know, she wears diapers too. Um, but again, getting back to me. With with the stigma being in around a very small town, between Back Bay and St. George, there's maybe 1,150 people, and everybody knew everybody. Everybody was related to everybody, and you couldn't crack unless they knew that you were using the bathroom. Well, we also had what they called old money. Those who don't know what that means, it just means the rich and elite that, well, let's just say, grew up in money, thought that they could do whatever they wanted, and basically control the town. Um, in school, I went to a Fundy High School in St. George, New Brunswick, and we all call it Gateway to Hell. Any student that has gone to Fundy High will tell you that it's a gateway to hell. When I was 14, they literally stripped me naked in school, except a diaper. They tied me to a flagpole, and they took a nylon whip, and they whipped me. And then they put me up on they hauled me up on the flagpole. The only teacher that came to my rescue about 2 hours later when he got to the school was Richard Ford. He turned around, he helped me. And boy, was he mad. Man. He went down one side of Mr. Hat and Mr. Murdrow and Mr. Hare. I mean, he was an amazing teacher. And when he passed away, it got even worse for me. I'd get beat up, chastised, ridiculed, called a sissy baby. And whenever I fought back, because I was a trained fighter, and I was very dangerous. But whenever I fought back, I would be the one that got in trouble. I'd be the one that got arrested. I was always chastised about wearing diapers. I was always chastised. Dear, do you mind actually doing this rather than this stupid thing? Um, There was even one time I took the Bible to school and I got arrested. Funny thing is though, I put a kid through a cement wall. Never got arrested for that. I got arrested for putting my foot through the wall. It took 9 cops to put me down. Of course, this is what they told me, because I don't remember anything. To this very day, I don't remember anything. Through my life, like from my aunts, not all my aunts, some of them were pretty cool about it. Some of my uncles understood, but there's other uncles that were just, that we have them in all of our families, except I came from a very big family. And, hey, I love them. They don't have nothing to do with me, but I love them. But through my life, from being a missionary to other things, whenever people found out that I wore diapers, 1, they didn't want to be around me. 2, they acted strange around me. 3, I had one person come up to me and said, "Why don't you just stay in the house and leave the rest of the normal people alone?" And I had a minister come up to me and say, "Yeah, just don't bother coming because we don't need you here. You're not someone that God really wants to use anyways, because if he did, he'd never have you wearing diapers." And this was a minister that I looked up to. Anyways, I met my wife. I was very petrified to let her know that I was wearing diapers. When I asked her to marry me, her father basically forced us to move in together, because he basically kicked her out. And she's seen the bag of diapers in the apartment that we got together, because I was about to let her live on the street.
I saw the diapers even before that.
I thought it was no, that's right. Catherine's right. It was actually before. I was living in a bachelor apartment. It was in Dieppe. And she's seen those diapers. And I thought I hid them well enough, but when I went to the bathroom, something must have knocked it off or something, or she got curious what was in the room. So I don't know how it happened, but
Yeah, I don't either.
But she came back, and when I came back, she was holding a diaper, and she didn't know what it was. She and I told her that I wear diapers, and I was shaking. I was scared because I really loved her. When I first met her, the Holy Spirit said, "This is your mate. Take her as your wife." Of course, I never told her that first second that I met her. Basically, all I did is took her hand, kissed it, and introduced myself. But that's another story that maybe me and my wife will talk about together. But It's been a journey. But I also, going back a little bit, I got to, God brought another minister in my life who became my mentor. And he changed my heart. God used him to soften me, to help me. Dear, you're.
I'm not.
Oh, okay. It just seems like the camera's going like that, like But
It's right on you, Jack.
okay. Like I said, I'm anal about that stuff, and she knows it. There's times where she'll just say, "Stop already, just let me." Anyways, but him and his family showed me what a family was, what a husband was supposed to be, what a father was supposed to be, everything. Now, at the time, I was an ABDL, adult. Well, I guess you could say a teen TB, a teen baby diaper lover. I didn't know what it was happening because of the fact that I never got the internet till 1998. Yeah. But my first computer, though, in 1997 was a Commodore 486. Yeah, I had one of those things. Uh, Orange and green colored screen. That was color. Anyways, but I looked up diapers for teenagers, and the website called DPF came up. I had no clue what it was. All I knew was there was a chat site. I started talking. Didn't even know how to use the chat. I was just tinkering. And I looked up and I typed in with very bad spelling. I said, am I using this chat good? And the owner, he's passed away now. His name's Tommy. Said yes, you are using the chat right. And they asked about me, and I told them. And that was my first support group. Yes, they're ABDL. And they really explained to me what was going on. And then, my wife and all that. I'm leaving certain things out, of course, but it was never a sexual fetish for me. I just didn't know who I was. I was lost. I thought I was a freak because I had to wear diapers. There was no support system for me. Anyways, years later, again, my wife. And I thought sure she was going to leave me. I thought sure she was just going to call me a freak, laugh at me, and walk out. When we moved in together, she ended up changing me, taking care of me, like when I was sick and stuff. She did everything. I'll let her tell you her story about other stuff. About how she entered in diapers. But over the years, I've lost quite a few friends committed suicide because of people making them feel ostracized and everything because they did wear diapers. And because they chose to wear what they call elite premium diapers instead of the medical diapers that had print and stuff like that on them. And it's not right. I don't know, maybe I'll end up doing this again. Maybe it'll still be shorter and to the point, whatever. I don't know. But if there's any questions, please subscribe down below and write your questions. I don't know if it's going to be on this side or... Anyways. But I hope this helps to understand why we are advocates for those who wear diapers, both ABDL, and advocates to get people to understand that it's not about child pedophile stuff. It has nothing to do with that. If anything, you're going to find that those who are, like, I'm not ABDL. Not in the sense where it's a fetish. It has nothing to do with that for me. For me, it's because I have no choice but to wear diapers.
And to heal. Mm-hmm. And to heal. And to heal.
And it has helped me heal. But if anything, you're going to find that those who are ABDL are more protective of children than anybody that there is. You will find that a lot of people, some of them are judges, extremely successful men and women that are strong and successful. Some are billionaires. Some are soldiers, judges, Supreme Court judges, politicians. Well, actually, I shouldn't put politicians in there because, well, hey, look what's going on in both of our countries, Canada and the States. But, because really, politicians can't be trusted, period. But, I just find the ignorance, and people say, well, the world is really tolerant. No, you're not. If it's a political thing and political statements and all that, oh yes, because you don't want to seem racist. You don't want to seem this and that. You don't want to go against those who are little girls like 13 or 12 years old dancing around on YouTube and talking about sex and other stuff that, you know, that should be going against. Or where the MS-13 gangs, the Muslim gangs, and stuff like that, you don't want to talk about that because you don't want to seem racist, especially here in Canada. You don't want to step on babyface ball-sucking Muslim Trudeau's bad side. You know what? This is what I say to you, Justin Trudeau. I served my country for 12 years. And now Canada's a disgrace. Especially the soldiers that will not stand and uphold their oath to defend this country against foreign and domestic terrorism. That means also governments too. And what do you have to lose? They're going to screw you over when you retire. They're screwing you over now. So what the hell is your problem? They're kicking you out so that they can put Muslims in your houses. Well, you have to be on welfare, and yet Muslims, they turn around, they give $500,000 to whatever. Anyways, that's another topic for another time. Sorry. My wife is giving me that look. But saying behave. I love my country, but it's a disgrace. Don't say that you're tolerant when you're not tolerant. Don't say that you're willing to understand when you're not willing to understand. God bless.